and welcome to Don't Be a Hopeless Romantic. Today, we're going to learn from this bride and groom who were viral all over TikTok a few weeks ago. In the original clip that I saw, this groom is giving his speech to the crowd and he's saying how good he looks. He says he looks good about 3 times, and then he turns to his brand new bride looking beautiful and says, "You look aight." What we're going to learn from this couple is if you're going to go through with the wedding, if you're going to marry that man that you know you should not be marrying because you want the wedding, you're going to have to practice that wedding speech. Either you write it, he write it, ChatGPT writes it, someone writes it at least a month and a half in advance, and you all practice it. And you make it very clear to him. You say, "I don't want you to embarrass me." You say, "Don't put that cake in my face." You say, "Don't say inappropriate jokes. Don't be sexual in your vows." Say it all with your chest. If you know you are marrying a man who is ridiculous, say those things, because this is too much. Now your entire wedding day is littered with a man that you knew was going to embarrass you, embarrassing you. Because this is my theory, and I'm just a yapper, but the bride knew that either the groom was mean and was going to say something like this or similar, and she should have warned him not to. Or if he's not mean and he's just a freaking jokester, she knew that he was a jokester and she did not say, "Hey, babe, today is not the time to try out that new material. I think you're funny. I get your sense of humor, but we got a videographer and this is going to go out. And plus, all of our guests don't want to feel uncomfortable when you continuously say how great you look, but don't give me any credit." And if you just look at the wedding, this was a pretty reception. This was a beautiful thing. It seems as though he should be happy for this moment. It seems as though he got a beautiful woman and they were able to celebrate their love beautifully with a group of people, and still somehow that is not enough. And of course, this makes you want to know more about how they even got here. Did he propose to her? Did he want to do this? Because if you didn't want to do it, again, I say leave. Men pretend as though they have no autonomy, as if they cannot just be done with the situation. If you don't want to be there, you can say that. If you didn't want to give a speech, what is it to say? "Thank you all so much for coming to this very beautiful wedding. My wife had the time of her life planning it." There you go, a little zinger. But whatever, like, to get on the mic this long, and in the video, you see her kind of reaching for the mic. And she's saying it's because they can't hear him correctly. But girl, you was trying to take that mic. And that's the problem with people trying to have too much couth sometimes, because you should have took it out his hand. And he should have, if he would have embarrassed himself, it would have been outward. It wouldn't have been this like small little thing that I'm sure some people in the crowd winced at when he said, "Oh, she look alright." But if she would have took that mic and started giving her speech because he apparently is done, and he would have acted a fool, then everybody would have known. And the reality is, in these situations, what do you do but continue on with your wedding, with your marriage, and tell yourself, he's just a jokester, he's just playing. I know that's just how he is. He doesn't mean any harm by it, but I keep saying I be affected by these things. And it's like, that's big words. That's me being dramatic. But I don't want people to be like this. I want people to learn from their mistakes. This is a beautiful wedding. Look at this. And here we are discussing the fact that this grown man tried to embarrass the wife, because we saw the first clip and then someone says, "Oh no, oh no." He says it earlier in the wedding because he's talking about how thick she is. Why is that important? Or like, come on. And you say again that you look better when it's not even true. But I get it. I'm 32. I haven't been married yet, and I do dream of a wedding. So if you are in this situation where you just want to do it, you just got to get it done, practice with that man. Be vocal about what he should and should not do. That way, there's no way he can pretend he didn't know what he shouldn't do. And if he does those things that you told him not to do, I say leave, because you expressed yourself. You gave exactly what's not wanted, because I bet you that's what all the women in these viral videos would say when their husband embarrasses them at the wedding. They'll just say he's just a jokester and I didn't really express XYZ. But if you say it, if you truly don't want this to happen to you and you think it's a possibility, you better say it. You better practice that speech. You better practice those toasts. You better practice a dance. You better practice cutting the cake. You better practice giving champagne pour. Practice everything, because if not, and you know that that man might embarrass you, oh darling, trust me, he is going to embarrass you. And I feel so bad for this bride, because again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wedding. And I'm sure that in a year, this will all be behind them. But right now, this is on their heart. If they went on a honeymoon after this, this was on their heart, because this went viral. I doubt she posted it. I feel like the videographer posted it. And we all have it. But at least we get to learn from them. Practice them speeches, y'all.